For the love of God, I can't stop! Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark. In comes a meat wagon. Wee, wee, wee.
That's not good. He should have went with a high quality brake pad. Luckily, I have some, and I'm going to be replacing them on this 2016 Chevrolet Spark. So stick around, and I'll show you how to get it done. Okay, so first things first. I lost a lot of footage during the filming of this episode due to my photo gallery space being full. I'm filming this on my iPhone, and I was not aware that it was no longer recording at some point during filming. So what you're going to see is me take apart the front brakes on the driver's side and then put them back together on the passenger side. This should hopefully eliminate any confusion because you're going to see the camera go from the driver's side to the passenger side, so the image will be reversed. I figured I would go ahead and go through with this video since I still had a lot of great footage. Okay, with the vehicle up on all four corners, I'll go ahead and give it a good shake and make sure it's stable. And now I will take my impact and remove all four wheels. The reason I am removing all four wheels is because after I replace the front brake pads, I'm going to go ahead and do a brake fluid flush on the vehicle as well. This will give me access to the rear bleeder screws on the drums. I'm going to go ahead and remove the Phillips head screw that holds the rotor to the hub. Some vehicles will have them, some won't. Then I'll take a 17mm wrench and hold the guide pin while I take a 14mm socket and break the retainer bolt loose. Without the wrench, the guide pin would move back and forth and just spin. And now I will do the same thing to the bottom one. Before I go any further with this, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the bleeder screw will come loose nice and easy. Sometimes they are rusted into place, and it will take a little bit of heat and tapping and a little bit of force to get them to come loose. Now it's time to remove the caliper from the caliper bracket. Be very gentle during this process and don't let the caliper hang by the hose. Make sure you have a bungee cord or a coat hanger or some type of mechanism to hang the caliper up out of the way. That way you can continue to work on the brakes and there's no stress on the hose, as you can see I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the brake pads, starting with the inner pad. And as you can see, this one definitely needed to be replaced. Then I will go ahead and remove the outer pad. As you can see, this one has a lot more material left on it. which is a good indication that the guide pins are either seized or were in a bind. Now, I will go ahead and remove the brake pad hardware. And I will go ahead and remove the 2 bolts that hold the brake caliper bracket to the steering knuckle. This will require a 19mm socket and a breaker bar because the bolts are held in with blue Loctite. After they are broke loose, I will go ahead and use a ratchet to finish taking them the rest of the way out. I will go ahead and turn the wheel back to center. I did have it turned to the left to make it easier to remove the caliper assembly. Now I can go ahead and remove the rotor. With the rotor removed, I can get a good look at how worn it is, and it was wearing a nice groove on the inside. Now I will go ahead and remove the rust on the hub surface. This will allow a clean mating surface for the new rotor when I go to install it. I use a couple wire brushes on a drill, some hand wire brushes, and 150 grit sandpaper to get into the tight areas. Let's go ahead and go back to the brake caliper bracket. I will go ahead and remove the guide pins. As you can see, this one has a rubber boot on it. This will be known as the trailing pin. Depending on how your brake caliper is mounted onto your steering knuckle will determine the position of this pin. If your brake caliper is mounted on the front side of the steering knuckle, it will go in the bottom. If it's mounted on the back side of the steering knuckle, it will go on the top. This pin is used to cancel out any brake vibrations. They will also go in the same orientation if they are mounted on the rear axle. Off camera, I went ahead and cleaned the pins and re-lubed them with brake caliper grease. This will ensure that the pins can slide freely and that the brakes will wear evenly. With the hub assembly nice and clean and sprayed off with brake clean and a layer of fluid film added, I can go ahead and install the new brake rotor. I'm using a 36mm socket and a lug nut to hold the rotor square, so I can reattach the brake caliper bracket. Do note that the new brake rotors come with a geomet and zinc coating on them that do not have to be sprayed off with brake clean. It is another type of anti-rust agent other than oil. So I'm going to go ahead and put blue Loctite back on the mounting bolts for the caliper bracket. After using my ratchet to snug down the bolts, I'm going to go ahead and use my breaker bar to tighten these down the rest of the way. You want these in here pretty tight because you do not want this bracket coming loose. Now, I'm going to go ahead and install the new brake pad hardware. Then I'll go ahead and add a light layer of brake caliper grease to the 4 mounting points on the clips. This is so the brake pads will be able to slide back and forth nice and freely inside the brake caliper bracket. Now, I will install the inner pad first. It will be the one with the wear indicator tab on it, and then I will go ahead and install the outer pad. One thing to note, since these are OEM pads, it is not necessary to put any brake grease on the backing plates due to them having a ceramic coating, and they are also textured. So when the brake caliper squeezes on them, they will not move and cause a squeak or a vibration. Now I'm going to go ahead and break the bleeder screw free on the brake caliper and retract the piston. I do not want this fluid going back through the lines to the ABS module and reservoir, as it can cause damage to the ABS system. After the piston is retracted, I will go ahead and tighten the bleeder screw. Here, I am putting in the guide pin bolts, and I will snug these down. They don't have to be extremely tight, just snug them up and they will be fine. After that, I will go ahead and pump the brake pedal until it is nice and firm. If it does not become nice and firm, you have a problem that you will have to address. After that, go ahead and pop the hood and locate the brake fluid reservoir. And here, this will take .4 brake fluid. I am filling the brake fluid to the max line, and then I will go ahead and reinstall the cap. Do note, some vehicles will take .3 brake fluid and others will take other brake fluid. Read your cap to make sure you're putting in the correct brake fluid. Now, with 2 people, I'm going to start with the bleeder screw furthest away from the master cylinder, and I will have a person in the vehicle pump the brake pedal till it is nice and firm and hold steady pressure while I break the bleeder screw free, and they will follow the pedal travel all the way to the floor and hold until I tighten the bleeder screw back up. This process will be repeated until I see clean, clear brake fluid coming out of the bleeder screw. And you will do this all the way around for all 4 corners of the vehicle. Do be sure to keep an eye on your brake fluid level while you do this. You do not want the master cylinder running dry and getting air in the system. Now that I have done all 4 corners of the vehicle, I will top it off to the max level and install the cap. And then I will go ahead and reinstall the wheels and the lug nuts. Now, I will go ahead and let the vehicle back down on all 4 wheels. After torquing the lug nuts to the manufacturer's specifications, I will go ahead and lower the hood. And job well done. Remember, if you like videos like this and want to see more, please leave a comment down in the comments section, hit the like button, and ring the bell. It really helps the channel. And thank you for watching.